Shanghai's real estate meltdown, the collapse no one saw coming. Overnight, Shanghai's housing market has fallen into chaos. Landlords are flooding the market with listings. Secondhand homes have skyrocketed to over 360,000 units, a near record high. Some sellers are so desperate that they're abandoning their down payments and years of mortgage payments just to escape. Even new homeowners are trying to resell before their keys are even handed over. But here's the real question: who's still buying? Those who once bragged online about rising prices are now panicking, slashing prices, and begging for buyers. Some, drowning in debt, are selling at huge losses just to breathe again. In only 3 years, Shanghai's property prices have crashed like never before. Homes inside the inner ring are down 30%, those in the middle ring 40%, and those outside the outer ring have lost half their value. The market has turned as cold as the city's winter winds. Developers are throwing out desperate deals: 50% discounts, free parking spaces, cashback, even zero down payments, but still can't sell. Even luxury homes are no longer safe. When Fuyunjing, once a top-tier project, opened for sale, only 70% of units sold. The glory days of sold out in 1 minute are over. Now, experts warn that distribution cooperation, shared listings, and desperate partnerships will become the new norm. Just a few years ago, buying a home in Shanghai was every family's dream. Now it's a nightmare. With mass layoffs and a slowing economy, countless owners can't even sell their houses. Prices of secondhand homes have dropped nearly 50% in some areas, and analysts predict 80% of properties could fall even further. Each house once represented the savings of several generations. Now it's a ticking time bomb. Many families are on the brink of bankruptcy. As of yesterday, 11,292 secondhand homes were registered online, but real transactions are far fewer. New home sales fell to just 4,791 units, less than half of earlier monthly averages. Experts warn that Shanghai's housing market is entering its final surge before complete stagnation. A veteran agent with 17 years of experience puts it bluntly: "Don't buy now. I've seen people lose 400,000 to 500,000 yuan overnight." He gestures to a quiet neighborhood once known for its charm. A 92-square-meter apartment that sold for 300,000 yuan now barely fetches 200,000. Prices are changing not by month or week, but by day. He sighs. "It feels like the entire city is selling houses. 9 out of 10 people I meet are listing theirs. Nobody asks where you bought anymore. They ask if it's sold." More than 200,000 listings flood the market, with 100 new ones added daily. Even owners of brand new projects are rushing to sell before the market sinks further. But buyers? Almost none. Earlier this year, a small 59-square-meter apartment was listed for 1.2 million yuan. It could rent for about 3,500 yuan. Now, that same layout with better furnishings is going for 1 million flat, unthinkable just a few years ago. Yet the rental market is collapsing too. Units stay empty for months, landlords cut rents, and still, no takers. Shanghai, once the symbol of wealth, now echoes with silence and vacancy. And it's not just about cheap homes. Even luxury estates worth 100 million yuan have plunged to 40 million, losing 60% of their value. With widespread layoffs and shrinking paychecks, people can no longer afford their loans. Many are turning to auction platforms just to avoid default. Experts predict only 20% of properties will remain stable. The rest will keep falling. The real estate winter has only just begun. If prices fall another 30%, Shanghai could face a wave of bankruptcies, business closures, and social unrest. The chain reaction would ripple through every sector, from collapsing rural schools to reclaimed farmland and restricted housing construction. Across the country, self-proclaimed experts promise miracle solutions, but none can stop the downward spiral. Shanghai's property collapse is no longer just about money. It's a full-blown social crisis. People online are crying out, "Good heavens, house prices are crashing. It's so tragic." One resident said their apartments, once sold for 15,000, 16,000 yuan per square meter, now fetch only 4,000. A lifetime of savings has evaporated. In Shijiazhuang, a 100-square-meter home bought for 1.4 million yuan is now worth just 500,000. Within 2 years, dreams turned to dust. And for countless Chinese homeowners, this is only the beginning. China's housing market is imploding, prices collapse nationwide. This is not an isolated case. It's spreading like wildfire. In Hangzhou Bay, Ningbo, apartments that once cost 13,000 yuan per square meter now sell for only 4,000 yuan. In Yongqing, Hebei, prices that soared to 23,000 yuan have crashed to just 3,500 yuan. That's not a discount. That's a meltdown. A home once worth 2.7 million yuan has lost 1.2 million in value. Imagine saving for years, taking out loans, and then watching over 1 million yuan vanish before you even move in. In one shocking case, a homeowner waited 2 years for a 120 square meter apartment to be completed. But by the time the keys were ready, the price had already collapsed by more than 1 million yuan. And it's not just happening in small towns. In Panyu, Guangzhou, one of the city's most disappointing communities has become a symbol of disaster. Residents barely finished unpacking before prices dropped below the land auction cost. Once 15,000 yuan per square meter, now only 400 to 500 yuan. A price so low it almost defies belief. Over in Chengdu, the story is no different. Apartments that once sold for 500,000 to 100,000 yuan now go for only 180,000. These aren't old, broken-down units. They're new, move-in-ready homes with elevators, landscaped gardens, and decent space. Over 80 square meters. For less than the price of a new car, according to data released by China's National Bureau of Statistics on October 20th, 2025, the situation keeps getting worse. Housing prices in 70 major cities fell 0.41% month on month, the biggest drop in almost a year, and were down 2.2% year on year. Secondhand homes plunged even faster, 0.64%, hitting the lowest point of the year. The housing market is diverging sharply from the rest of the economy. While the government claims 4.8% GDP growth in Q3, down from 5.2%, the property sector tells a very different story, one of fear, panic, and collapse. The lower the prices go, the fewer people dare to buy. Confidence is gone. The dream of using property to preserve wealth has shattered. One homeowner shared his nightmare. I defaulted on my mortgage. I bought my house for 4.6 million yuan, and now it's worth 2.3 million. What would you do if you were me? He said he and his wife, one working in IT, the other in sales, scraped together 1.4 million yuan for the down payment and borrowed 3 million. We thought paying 13,000 yuan a month was fine. We never imagined this would happen. Analyst Gao Sheng warns that housing prices in China could fall another 25% to 5% over the next 2 years. The decline has already lasted 4 straight years since 2021. A home worth 1 million yuan today might soon drop below 500,000. It's terrifying, but that's the reality millions are facing. Among more than 40 major cities, Zhengzhou has suffered the sharpest fall. Prices have nearly been cut in half, despite it being a city with a strong population inflow. I never thought it would drop like this, a resident said. Is this even reasonable anymore? In Hefei, panic is spreading. Agents urge owners to sell quickly before prices collapse further. Homes once worth 2 or 3 million yuan now fetch only 1 to 1.5 million. Families who once celebrated becoming homeowners now feel trapped in a financial cage. One resident described his heartbreak. When this complex first launched, it was chaos and people fought to buy. Now look, one family per building, lights off everywhere. It's like a ghost town. In Huizhou, occupancy rates are so low that some buildings have just one household living there. In Yaozhuang, entire residential compounds like Jinke Jieme Jiahe Mansion are almost empty, with less than 30% occupancy. Across the street at Heijing Shangfeng, not a single window glows at night. These are not homes anymore. They're silent tombs of lost dreams. In Siking, Henan, another victim spoke out. I bought my apartment in 2019 for 1.2 million yuan. I paid a 300,000 yuan down payment and took a 900,000 yuan loan. After 5 years, I've already paid nearly 300,000 yuan in installments, but my principal has barely dropped, less than 100,000 yuan. My down payment and all the interest I've paid are gone. Now, the same apartments are selling for 800,000 yuan. I've lost over 800,000 yuan, not counting taxes and fees. He paused, then said softly, all those years of hard work, gone. This housing crisis is no longer about statistics. From Shijiazhuang to Suzhou, from Hefei to Chengdu, from Ningbo to Zhengzhou, the collapse is destroying family wealth, wiping out life savings, and turning once vibrant neighborhoods into hollow shells. Behind every empty apartment lies a story of loss, regret, and despair. China's property bubble, once the symbol of prosperity, is bursting before the world's eyes. What's left behind are debts, darkened windows, and broken dreams. If this continues, experts warn, the crash could trigger a chain reaction. Bankruptcies, factory closures, mass layoffs, and social unrest. What started as a housing slump could soon become a national crisis. So, what do you think? Is this the end of China's real estate miracle? Or the beginning of something even more terrifying? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share if you want to keep uncovering the truth behind China's economic collapse. We'll see you in the next video.